If we're gonna get him vulnerable, let's do it right now. What would you change right now physically on your body?
I'd probably want a bigger dick, man. Serious. I'm serious.
If my dick wasn't, I have a 10-inch, and if it wasn't, and I want 11,
so dick doesn't count, fine.
Of course not.
I guess I'd want to be taller, honestly. Like
Okay.
that would because I have had girls in the past not date me because of my height. Truly.
You don't have to say truly. That makes sense.
Yeah, like
I've met women.
You're listening to the Dear Buddies podcast.
You will grow from boys into men.
Whatever, dude.
What does that look? Don't get weird on me.
Hey, buddy.
For all those questions you can't bring yourself to ask your friends, ask your buddies.
You don't know the intro to that.
What's up, buddies? Thank you so much for joining us. We're excited to be back for another edition of the Dear Buddies podcast. This is the show where we take on the hard topics that other guys think is difficult to talk about because we're very bright, smart men, and we think that we're the geniuses that can solve these problems. They're not supporting me at all. I don't like this.
I just want to see how far we can go before Mike just stops talking
this
on
is Dear
himself.
Buddies. Thanks for listening. For all the questions you can't ask your friends, talk to us. We're the ones that deal with the weirdness. Also, real quick before we get started, make sure you rate and review on iTunes, on YouTube. If you haven't done so, subscribe to us on YouTube. We're going to be doing some giveaways.
We're doing
We're going to
thing?
do some random giveaways to subscribers. So
No,
if
one
you subscribe
subscriber
maybe
a week.
once a week, we're going to scroll. You told me to do the intro.
You did tell him to do the intro.
I did tell him to do the
We're
intro.
going to
Right.
scroll, randomly pick some new subscribers.
I don't like when Mike talks too much. It bothers me.
He's doing all the hard
I know.
work.
And it's
If
fun.
you did the intro, it would be a disaster.
we have to do it again.
No, we're not. We're keeping it here.
No.
So we're going to get.
We'd have to do it again if I did it.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna pick new subscribers. We're gonna every time you subscribe, we're gonna pick out some prizes to give new subscribers. So make sure you subscribe. Also check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/DearBuddiesPodcast. We have exclusive content. We're doing a bonus episode of Sweet Buddies every week, which is the old podcast we used to do. We're bringing that back. We're also gonna be you can access live streams. You can phone call. Also, anybody that wants to that's listening, email us if you have a question or something you're dealing with that you're too embarrassed to ask somebody else. You can do it anonymously. You can give us a fake name, dearbuddyspodcast@gmail.com. We would love to read your problems. We have some emails today we're going to go through, so make sure you hit us up, dearbuddyspodcast@gmail.com, and we will. We'd love to hear from you if you have any weird questions or any tough questions. We'll answer them. It could be a medical question. We're not doctors, but we'll work our way through it. Something embarrassing. You want to know something about
Don't
life?
ask a medical question. What are you talking about?
No, they ask him. I'm the new Joe Rogan.
No,
I'm
you're
giving
not.
I'm giving out doctor
You're
advice,
not.
baby.
No,
all right?
no, please.
I got a man bun and a medical license.
I like that doctor advice.
Dr. Scopo. I asked him today, I go, didn't you go to school for sports medicine? He goes, sports management. I was like, oh, it's a big difference.
Medicine? You thought I got into medicine at all?
That's why I was crying when I asked.
Drink water.
So yeah, thank you for listening, and make sure you subscribe to all that good stuff.
Monoclonal antibodies.
What?
You don't even know.
Monoclonal. What the hell was that?
Ivermectin.
Ivermectin.
I'm just
Okay.
naming things Joe Rogan says to me.
Can we not plug a successful podcast on a podcast that has no listeners?
Not launched yet. It has not launched
Exactly.
yet.
Okay.
What are we talking about today, buds?
I
It's a
believe.
very very fun one.
I believe we're talking about the stereotypes of men. Correct.
Yes. We're going to address all the different types of male stereotypes. We're going to talk about the ones that we think we are, and the ones that we hate that we are.
Ones that apply to us.
Ones that apply to us, ones we don't think apply to us, and then the other person will probably tell you why it does
And I think
apply.
maybe we should talk about what we think the others' flaws are at the end.
Oh, that's the whole podcast. That's a
Yeah.
whole other episode of
Listen-
what's wrong with these two.
Yeah.
I'm perfect.
We also don't have enough time for just you,
Yeah,
Scopo.
how many gigs you got on that computer left, Luca, to name all of Scopo's problems?
I'm not that bad.
Yeah, he's not that bad. Take monoclophylacinist.
My mom said I'm a good boy.
So Reddit, Ask Men, right?
Yeah,
Ask
so
Men.
we spent a lot of time chewing around the Ask Men Reddit, asking some questions. We had some fun ones, and that's what we're going to kick off with. We have some, I think that one of the biggest things, and probably this is a good way to encompass this whole podcast, is the different types of stereotypes that guys have, and that's kind of the point here, is that we want to try to figure out what's wrong or how people perceive guys. And let's talk about it, because nobody feels comfortable talking about it. So we'll be the ones doing the uncomfortable work, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Do you think there's so there was an article on Men's Line talking about kind of the main stereotypes of men, Let me see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6, 7 of them. Self-sufficiency, where you think you have to always be the one. You can't be weak. You know, you have to be self-sufficient. You should figure out your problems on your own.
That's not me at all. My mom's currently watching my dog. So
As she dropped off your laundry?
yeah.
So it's like that one is like you. If you're feeling weak, you got to deal with it and get over it. You can't show weakness.
Yeah, be a man.
Be okay.
Yeah, be a man. That's like self-sufficiency. Like, do it yourself. Don't ask for help. I'm tough. Meanwhile, you're crying on the inside. I have a big problem with that.
Yeah, me
Solving
too.
my own problems.
Me too. There's a lot of problems, and I
You'd
can't get
think
to all
that
of
by
them.
now we'd have no problems left if we could solve a single problem.
Yeah. Are we talking about this one right now?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, you
This one?
You're getting choked up right
Self-sufficiency,
away.
yeah.
You can't do anything.
No, that's true. Well, I've gotten better.
true.
No, I've gotten better.
Can you
and
copy and paste on your phone?
I'm not good with technology, but I'm
He tried
getting.
to eat this microphone earlier.
when
There was a snow cone.
when I did not move in with, or when I was living with you guys,
Sure.
I was nervous when I was moving in with Olivia that I was going to show up there and just be a caveman, just be like, I don't know how to do anything.
Oh,
So
I
I
thought
was
that meant your hair in your body.
that too. Thank you so much.
I was also worried for you as well.
I was, 'cause
I
I'm
watched
like-
how you bopped around the old apartment, and I was like, this guy has no idea how to do
couldn't
anything.
cook, couldn't iron, didn't know how to make boil water for Christ's sakes. So I had to learn on the fly.
How did you learn? Did you YouTube it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Honestly, a lot of stuff was YouTube. A lot of like chopping onions, watching Gordon Ramsay.
So I think that you actually might be not self-sufficient. So you're the opposite of the stereotype. You do not own this stereotype
But I did at one point.
because you wouldn't ask for help.
I would no. I
Not
wouldn't.
publicly.
I was embarrassed.
Yeah.
to
I'm
ask for
shocked
help.
you got around on the train for a while. You were okay in the train, which is shocking.
What do you mean okay on the train?
Like you know how to get from point A to point B
Well,
in
I
the
have
city.
Google Maps for God's sakes. I'm not
So you
walking
don't
around.
take the trains.
Yeah, I'm not with the commoners.
What are you then?
I'm fucking elite. Okay, I got a car, baby. Hop on my.
He's in a loner because he
Yeah.
wrecked the other one.
Buddy, I follow
What
Blue-
No, I
elitist.
got my car back. Okay.
Okay.
My
I
parents did
follow
it
a
for
blue
me.
dot. What are you talking about? I don't have a map. I'm not Christopher Columbus walking around the city. I'm not.
Old Magellan over here.
I know you work Google Maps, copy and paste. I know how to do. With my computer, that was more of a Samsung to HP issue, not a
yeah.
MacBook thing.
Oh, yeah, that
I
was
changed
it.
computers. You try changing computers halfway through your life, and then tell me it's not hard to copy and paste. It's different. It's different.
It's really not.
It is.
But how did you know how to get on to betmgm.com?
That's easy though for me. That stuff's not
Things you
bad.
want to do, you're fine with.
That's the problem. Things I want to do, I'm easy with. Things that I don't want to do or I'm on the fence with, don't even care. Don't even try. That's the problem.
Well, that's the problem, and I think that's what this whole podcast is kind of about, which is not asking for help or not like talking about things because you don't know. It's like, well, I'm gonna tough it out because I'm a guy.
I think
I
all the-
suffer from that constantly, where I never want to ask for help on anything.
Yeah, you should on a lot of things.
I what?
Like yeah.
I
You
should
on a lot of things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
what?
yeah.
Tell
Your
me-
overall appearance.
I think I look all right.
I
This is a nice hoodie.
I
Just
think
fucking with you, Mike.
I know.
Go for the
Don't
joke
curse.
here, Mike. Oh, sorry.
I think Mike was the most.
Not for 10 minutes.
Yeah, Luca, edit.
I think Mike is the most self-sufficient out of all of us. And that's a good thing, right?
I don't know. Are you?
I'm
saying it
getting
in a good way?
confused on what is if self-sufficient is good or bad,
Well,
but the good
self-sufficiency
way.
being like what we're talking about in stereotypes is like not being able to talk about your issues, not being able to go to somebody for help, showing weakness. If you're concerned or not knowing, that means you're weak. So you bottle all up and you just deal
I
with
would
it
never.
internally.
When I lived with you guys and I had problems, I would never tell you my problems.
No,
I would.
you keep that bottled up.
I bottle it up.
I'm out of the three of us. I'm the one that would go to somebody to seek help. I would see a therapist, and you guys never seen a therapist. Well, why I've known you.
I went to a therapist right before lockdown, and then thank God we got COVID because then I could stop going.
Yeah, I was going to. I was in therapy for a good 2-3 years when we were living together.
I went to therapy. The first therapy I went to, I just started talking and I started getting like teary eyed. And the lady was like, "I'm just the intake nurse." After like 45 minutes of me telling her my problems, she goes, "This isn't the session." And I was like, "Oh, come on." She's like, "So anyway, what
Mike,
was your
you're
social
out of-
security number?" I was
Mike,
like, "Security."
you're out of Wendy's. What's wrong with you? Okay. Can I get your help in a double burger? Please, double mac and
Did
cheese.
you call it a Wendy's?
Yeah.
I put a Wendy's in a double burger. This guy's got.
You guys know I can't speak. Come on,
Can I have a
guys.
spicy chicken and a breeze?
Yeah.
Wendy's.
Can I get spicy chicken and all the emotions?
What the hell's a Wendy's?
Wendy's is a restaurant.
Wendy's, bro.
Wendy's.
Wendy's. It's not a gust
Wendy.
of.
Say wind.
Wind.
Say like, you know how it's like the wind is really gusting? Say it's windy.
The wind is gusting
no.
today.
Say windy. Like it's
windy.
windy out.
This is a podcast, not hooked on phonics, buddy. It's
It's
Wendy's.
something he needs help with.
No, it's Wendy's.
So when it's blowing outside.
Wendy's.
There it is. You said it right.
Wendy's.
There it is.
Wendy's.
Okay, well,
it's not Wendy's.
guys, I want to say anything. I'm right.
Because why?
Because I'm right. Because my mom said I am. And it's Wendy's.
So you went to therapy, and that obviously didn't work out at
Clearly
all.
he's doing well.
It's not good. Who's your therapist? Fired.
No, she dumped me, actually.
Chris is doing incredible right now.
Remember my hot therapist?
I mean, yeah.
Olivia?
I remember you telling me that she was.
Yeah.
So were you going to this therapist because she was attractive?
No, I was going to her because she was in my insurance, and she was affordable, and she was nice to look at. And I remember the day the day she broke up with me, she's like, I have something to talk about with you, but we'll do it at the end. And I was like, I know it's coming.
Why did she break up with you?
You probably thought the whole time, you're like, she's going to fire me because she can't date her clients. And then the lady goes, we're done. No, my heart.
No, do you remember when I told you guys we broke up?
But
And you
why?
told me to ask her on a date. I go,
Yeah,
she's
'cause
seen
now-
me cry.
That's
Perfect.
good.
That's okay. That's actually a good, healthy thing in a relationship.
Yeah, no, there's no way.
So, why did she break up with you? Or
She
like?
got a better job.
Oh, okay.
Better clients. Ones that could pay. But I think that you're wildly
Emotional?
no. God, no.
No.
I was going to say that you're someone that won't ask for help. You're not self-sufficient. You're like you're so masculine.
Thanks,
you're like,
bro.
that wasn't a compliment.
It was to me.
That you don't you will not ask for help on anything. You'll go do it in private with a therapist, but like outside of that, you're not gonna.
I'm not asking you stooges how to get help, you know? I'm not asking you anything.
But he just said that he was the best one.
You just said you were the best one out of that.
out of the three of us, I would go see a therapist and try to talk to my emotions. I'm emotionally intelligent.
How so? Honestly.
I would go seek help. I understand that sometimes I'm angry at stuff like that. It's more my emotions. I know what's wrong with me more than you guys know what's wrong with you.
So far he hasn't even said English.
You're
He
just
goes,
like
"I'm
going around
my
in a
emotions
circle."
Are anger.
That's my point here. I'm trying to get you guys busy.
But you have angry emotions.
Yeah.
But the way you lash out is insane.
How do I lash out?
What do you mean? How do you lash out?
Yeah.
You walked into the into the studio today, started screaming about toilet paper.
Because
we're all coming in here with positivity, and you came in here, changed the vibe. Of the
You
whole
walk.
place.
You walk into every room like you're a
I announced
70.
my presence with authority.
No, you walk into every room like you're like a disgruntled like police chief. That like in every like
I've been on the job too long.
You're grizzled.
you know every like police movie where like the cop goes out of control and like ruins the city and he costs them like $1 million budget.
You blew up the hospital again.
Yeah,
Chief.
that's how you walk into every place. You like
But at the
slam
end of
the
the day,
door.
I get the job done.
No, not really.
But
So
that takes
either.
us to the next thing in this article about like the main stereotypes, which is number 2 is acting tough, and the way they're describing it is a guy who doesn't fight back. You think that a guy that doesn't fight back is weak, and guys should always be the strongest one, even if they're scared and nervous. So that's a perfect bridge into this one, is that no matter what happens, you got to act tough, even though you're scared and nervous. I'm the same way.
I think I
but I
always
think
act.
if we're gonna like rank
Mike,
everybody here,
I told you would be favored in a fight between me and you.
as you were telling me you would kick my ass.
Yeah, that's right.
So even you can't even say, I think you
Because
would
I
beat me
know
up
your
without.
flaws, Mike.
What are my flaws?
Throw a hamburger on the floor and you
and
get
then
to go.
what? You think I'd eat a hamburger off the floor?
Yes.
No, I'd rather drain my bank account for a fresh one. I got problems with the other way. I'd rather spend a ton of money on it.
Whatever it is, I get a fresh one, I get a dirty one.
So you're saying that if there was a confrontation, you would be I think you would be the one who would step up to the plate first, and me second, and you last.
We're talking about, I think we all got into a confrontation with somebody else together.
Yeah, I think Scopo would be last.
I know I'd be last.
Yeah, no, for sure.
He'd be way in the back on his phone, pretending like it didn't happen.
Yeah. I'd be placing a bet on who's
I
getting
think
their
you
ass
would
kicked.
start it,
Yes.
I'd finish it, and he would be gone. We'd be taking the train
No,
home.
no. I would be the guy who goes, after we won the fight, I'd be like, I told you don't mess with us.
But that's, I think, a thing. Acting tough is a
I don't-
stereotype. That's a tough one for guys because we always kind of are looked at. Men in general are always looked at as like the one, like if there's a fight that's breaking out, especially between a man and a woman, if like a woman tries to come after your girl, or if a guy's coming after you, you're gonna be the one that has to like jump in front of the fist or the bullet or the car. You gotta walk on the outside of the street. So that if a car, you know what I'm saying? You know that stereotype
Yeah,
where
yeah,
a
you
guy's
got
got
the
to walk.
outer
Yeah,
lane.
you got to be the street side.
I state, and you know that I'm a coward immediately when
So you buck this stereotype pretty quickly.
yeah, no,
any-
I'm a coward.
I don't think you need to tell people that though.
No, but
No, because it's obvious.
but I'm not.
You're wasting breath.
My physical stature and overall, jolly appearance is not going to make anybody think that I'm a tough guy, regardless. One time I was in a full-on hockey brawl, like the benches cleared, and everyone jumped over to fight, and I laid on the ground. Like I laid on the bench, so
But
no
you
one could see me.
You say that.
I don't
though,
fight.
We were at a bar.
Did
not too
anyone
long-
see you?
My dad did. He was really mad.
Gives you that pink Gatorade again.
I think he got punched.
Your
Your
dad.
dad
Yeah,
loves
yeah,
to
the-
have a nice brawl or two. He loves to get into it.
He likes to fight a little
But
bit.
you'll snap though. Like the tough guy in you, the stereotypical man will come out in you. Like for an example, we were at that bar in Queens not too long ago, and some girl started talking ish to you. She started snapping on you. She's like one word. You got mad at her, and then the guy just happened to be sitting next to her. Goes, hey man, I think everyone is cool. And then you took us all out on him because you're like, well, I can't hit the girl, so I'm gonna go after this bald headed loser.
What happened?
First of all, that's when I had a little guy in my corner named Jackie D.
You had Jack Daniels on one side.
He was
and,
like-
and Big Mike on the other.
He
You
was
knew
like
it-
Mick from Rocky. You weren't even there.
I was outside.
You were outside.
After I stole a taco from a lady in the back of her cigarettes.
This is the quick story. The girl, there was a girl there, and I was looking at a television behind her or something behind her, and she said, "What the fuck are you looking at?" She was inebriated, and I said, "Fuck you, lady." Because I was inebriated. I was also
You
inebriated.
said the TV.
But she snapped on me for no reason, and I was drunk. And then there's a guy there who took her side, okay? And he was like one of these guys who's like, I'm going to take the girl's side so I
But
can get
that's
laid.
also he's
Cool as a
doing
white knight. That's a white knight.
He's
white
doing
knight.
the white knight thing. He's trying to be like the protector because he thought he had to because that's what he probably didn't give a shit about.
No, he
this
probably
woman.
saw his stature and it was like, this twerp's not going to fight me.
He
No,
was-
this guy was not physically.
He was fat.
Gifted?
He was
Not
he
at
was a
all.
bigger man. He was a fatter man, but like soft fat. And I did tell him to eat a stick of butter, and I did call him a tub of lard or something. And then he afterwards was trying to be nice to me outside, and I was just not letting him have it.
Oh, he was going at it too. But again, that was the tough guy coming.
But
at
I was
you because
drunk.
you decided you were wronged,
And Mike was
and you
there.
had to be the one. Even if you were like nervous and you didn't want to deal with it, you still pretended like you were just being the tough guy.
I'm honestly in comparison to like how men really are, like other guys, I'm not like that at all, because there are guys out there that are fully chest out. You look at their girlfriend, you compliment them, and they're like, "I'll fucking kill you." Like I'm not
they're
like that.
insecure. They're insecure about something, and that's why they're doing it.
But what? But like why? Like if you
I don't
were
know. Maybe they weren't raised properly. It probably says a lot back to their childhood.
if
I also think it's a lot of like stereotypical like societal pressure that the guy can't not be the guy that goes like, I'm gonna fight for this girl because they've been like drilled into their head our whole lives that we got to be the tough guy protector.
let me
I
ask,
want guys to look at my girl. It means I'm doing
that's
well.
that's for sure.
It's like, look at her. Come on.
That's what.
Pull your boobs out.
Yeah. Shake your ass a little bit. Give the boys something to laugh about.
So
you know?
we're all in like agreement that if a guy came up to your girlfriend and he didn't know, let's say he didn't know, he was just like, hey, you're beautiful eyes or something like that, because that happened to me, before the pandemic, and I didn't do anything.
They're talking to you though.
They were talking to me, and I do have beautiful peepers.
Gifted.
But yeah, no, he complimented Olivia, and I was there, and I didn't say, I was like, oh, okay,
Because you didn't have Jack Daniels in your corner.
I didn't have it, and he was
No.
bigger than me, and you weren't there, so I let it slide. But usually that wouldn't bother me. I wouldn't.
Well, let me ask you
unless
this.
he was little,
what would
littler.
he have said? He goes, "You have beautiful eyes and a fat ass."
That you would have snapped. I know for sure.
Yes, that specific guy, or was he little?
No, he's
That
he's
guy.
that guy.
We're
telling me
gonna
that you're-
leave the bar.
We're gonna go. No,
Check please.
you're gonna go. Hey guy, does have a fat ass, right?
You're gonna go check please, Olivia. Can I have some money? Check please.
Olivia, the Raptors didn't cover tonight. Help me out here a little bit.
Yeah, but that's an interesting point though. Like the idea that you would have stepped up at a certain point. So it's just a matter of
I would have.
How big is this?
But I would have been.
See, this is the problem.
Scared.
If you never have a girlfriend, they can't get mad at you for that. You know, they can't come in your girlfriend. You don't have one.
Sometimes the
If you
rules
technically don't say you have a girlfriend,
sometimes the rules that you live by, like,
are amazing.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I can't. I need to, like, I want to know where the line is between your,
I know the line is behind me.
when you're just saying that we've done this before, but I think that you're just whatever. This is a different episode where we discuss Scopo's real problems, and we'll get there. Stay tuned.
Sign up for the Patreon. We do it every week.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But yeah, so you couldn't, you physically knew, but you knew your line, you knew your limit. You wouldn't be able to beat this guy up.
But
Which is the difference between you and I, and you and I, is that, like, on New Year's Eve, we talked about this before, where those guys were hitting on Becca as they were walking to the bar, and then I turned the corner. It wasn't even a question. I'm just physically gifted in that way. Where
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just a big
gifted.
guy. Well, I'm gifted in a bad heart and bad knees.
Yeah.
And hips that are going to fail really quickly.
But there are guys that if a guy complimented the girlfriend saying, "Oh, you have a nice smile," they would snap. And I'm not that.
That's true. Yeah, but that's also.
What if okay, question. What if you go to the bathroom or something like that, come back, and a guy's talking to your girlfriend, he's flirting with your girlfriend, do you snap?
No.
Do you
No.
go get the F away from my chick?
No.
What do you do?
You just walk up to him and let him know you're there. See, this is a stereotype that I think that there's two parts to. Acting tough is like, you need to make sure that your stuff is in control. Like, I would walk up to my girlfriend and say, and just be like, "Hey, babe," or I'd just walk up and then touch, do one of these, give her one of these, let the guy know. That's just a quick, like, I think it's a male to male, but if then he starts running his mouth, then we have a problem.
Do you go up to him and go, "Do you feel like you're in charge?"
That's
and
where
then
you need.
Yeah, but Mike, all right, Mike, you have a Goliath presence. So you're
know,
a big
but
boy.
but if
now if Pavone goes up, then he goes, "Oh my God, what is that little brother doing here?"
That's why I should have a little business card that says Olivia's boyfriend, and I hand it to him. I go, she pays the bills, the utilities are under her name,
And I give her a couple heckles. I give her a good chuckle during the day too. Yeah.
But you wouldn't just sit there and wait for the guy to, like,
No.
Is he done with my girlfriend, and then go see her?
No. That's
Because you're
insane.
also, like, you're small, but you, like, I would be afraid to be in a fight with you.
No, you shouldn't be. But
No, I obviously wouldn't. I was trying to be nice.
I think I would. I think I
Stomp
would.
on him like an ant.
I think I would take a punch to the face. Like I
Well,
wouldn't.
yeah.
I wouldn't be like
You take a punch to the face and be like, "You happy? You happy, pal? You did it."
Yeah. At what point? Okay.
I think I'd get punched.
At what point? Okay. If the guy is hitting on your chick and she's Olivia and you're not, he's like nonstop. At what point do you fight him? At what point do you gotta go? Even if I'm
No,
not
we
gonna,
leave
even
first.
Though, no. Even though I'm probably not gonna win this fight, I gotta be a man enough and be like, "Hey, you can't talk to her. We can't talk like this." To her.
We'd leave first. I'd be like, let's get out of here.
But I
And
would
if-
leave too.
Yeah.
Mike,
Like-
what are you talking about?
I'm saying, but I would
No,
do
he
the
wouldn't.
same thing.
Man, you got a couple Chardonnays in you. You're good to go.
I will do everything in my power to not fight, and I'll tell you exactly why.
She safe for the street signs?
I saved for the bushes on the way home. The few times that I've had to get into fights, it ends really badly, and because I understand, like, and I'm not. This is not me being having to be tough, and this is me not. I'm not stereotyping right now myself, but I know what happens when I get into a physical altercation and things go wrong, and so I do everything in my power to not take it to that point
I never have to worry about that.
until it has to, and then when it does, I treat it like a for all intent and purposes, a gun. If you're going to pull the trigger of a gun at somebody, you're intending to do bodily harm. Like, you're not doing it, So if I'm going to fight somebody, I'm not stopping. I know that about myself. I see red and it's over for them.
Is this a fight or you at a buffet? Sorry.
God, it was really good.
Sorry.
Really good one. I'm so mad. I didn't think about
Because
that.
I've seen you at that.
I had thoughts in my head, but nothing about buffet. I should have brought it
But
up.
I know what you mean.
Similar outcomes
He-
because somebody's going to be on the floor crying.
He could do. He could do some damage. He can do some
I will
damage.
do damage, so I do everything in my power to talk my way out of a fight.
What if it's a guy that's your size?
Same thing. I'll talk my
Younger
way
than
out of
you.
it. Doesn't matter.
Got a six-pack.
Good for him. Six-pack is not an indication of strength.
I think Mike's.
And you know that more than anybody. Because, like us, you don't have a six-pack.
I did, though. I was fucking cut.
You got close. Yeah, you were there.
caught at one point.
But
that was my saddest.
So I actually think I act tough the least amount as I possibly can. Like, I hold back on that so that I don't have to get into that position to fight. because I don't like fighting. I don't like physically fighting.
Yeah, if you're over 30 and you enjoy fighting, you're either in the UFC or you're a psychopath.
That's a
yeah.
good point.
There's no way if you're over 30, you're like, I go out on Friday nights and someone looks at me.
Some people
You're a
do.
bitch.
Some people do.
If you know, I think if you know, you're
Luca's shaking his head. He's like, "That's me, dog." Check me at a bar, chugging whiskey, starting to smack girls on the
Imagine me like Luca. You don't know that
keister.
Luca will put you into a fucking.
We haven't been drinking with Luca. We got to go out and see what your stereotypes are.
He's a bare knuckle brawler in the Hell's Kitchen.
Luca just takes his shirt off. He has scars all over his back.
He's got the Irish flag tattooed. You're not even Irish, pal.
Yeah.
I'm 70% of 23andMe. Okay.
So that's how I think. Like, I actually like. I try to pull back the toughness because I don't want to get into a physical altercation. I don't like it.
Okay. What's next on the list, by the way?
Well, we're getting there.
And I'm just.
You done with this one?
I was done with this one. Yeah.
Well, this is. I know why he wants to talk about this next one because the next stereotype is physical attractiveness. Successful men look good, but spending too much time on your looks is not manly. So this is a catch-22.
That's not true at all. That's not true at all.
It was called. It is. Metrosexual for a while. There, if you did too much work, that was.
So if
you have to do only a certain amount.
If you want to look good, if you want to take care of yourself, that means you're too manly. Was it?
No, he's saying that if you take care of yourself over a certain limit, it becomes more feminine.
I don't take care of myself over a certain limit.
Well, we know that you don't dress well, like you don't have an eye for fashion, and you don't really.
What are you talking about?
You've worn a Mickey Mouse shirt here more than once.
That's a good fashion
Your
shirt.
parents buy your clothes for you.
No, they don't. Not anymore.
When did they stop?
2 years ago.
Jesus.
It's not like you
that
have
is
your
true.
hair gelled, slicked, and your eyebrows are manicured, and you put like your facial hair is like completely. You don't take extra care of yourself.
Yeah. But I don't think I think that's a person who just wants to look good.
But there's also like, so I think the over and above now is like now you're starting to see. I get targeted for this a lot, which I don't like. The Instagram ads for male like makeup.
I have
like
bronzer.
covers and not bronzer, concealers, like makeup, where you put makeup and powder on as a guy.
My dad
which
takes-
I think that's a little bit of above and beyond, but I also think female makeup is above and beyond. So I just don't think makeup.
My
is
dad
necessary.
takes real good care of himself. You're saying my dad's.
What kind of good care of himself? What are we talking about?
I mean, have you seen my dad? He always looks. Guy's got a brush with everything within 3 feet of him at all times.
Well, that's. I mean, I don't know. Is that?
You remember going to my aunt's house?
But he's a
for
good-looking guy.
for
I would
Thanksgiving?
never look at him and go, "This guy's overdone." Like he doesn't have like sharp eyebrows.
That's the point of what he has. He's
But do you
looking
think-
good though.
He does a good job of like not overdoing it, but he does just the right amount.
But I think that what your dad does, I'm not going to say his name, is he counterbalances his how do we describe it?
appearance.
His sharp physical appearances with calling you and just yelling about the Mets. That's his balance. Like if you like tweeze your eyebrows and sculpt them, you have to make fun of the Giants coach twice a day, or people just talk about your eyebrows.
But I also
there has to be like a balance.
But I also I enjoy having care products. Like I have a night cream, I have a day cream. Because let me tell you, this doesn't look great. It'd be way worse if I didn't use that.
Can you? I want to.
SPF stuff like that.
Will you ever shave your beard?
Yeah, I would do it.
We should get him to shave his beard.
I don't know. Let's
I thought
find-
you
let's
would
get some
never.
Patreon.
I thought you would never shave your beard.
I don't want to.
How many Patreons
but
do we
I
need
would.
for you to shave your beard?
1,000.
No, 1,000.
1,000 Patreons.
This
No,
is-
500.
I say 200.
250.
I'll call it good.
250.
This is interesting.
Hold on. You heard it here first. 250 Patreons. We will shave Mike's beard.
Edit.
So if you want to know what a bald Albanese looks like,
It ain't gonna be good.
you subscribe to the Patreon.
Here's the problem. If I shave my beard right now, immediately everyone in this room will be like, "Oh, shave it back on." Like I do not have a strong
Do
face.
you remember when I shaved my beard and I was dating a girl at the time? We're not going to mention her name, but she's a bad person.
Yeah.
And
Anyone who doesn't date you forever is a bad person. Just
Exactly.
a heads up.
exactly.
I love that girl.
You guys were bad
Sweetest girl
people for a while too. I remember going there. She goes, "Oh my God, no, grow it back immediately."
Yeah,
immediately.
yeah,
She
it's
grow it
not-
back.
it's
but like sometimes women don't like too manicured and like
Women
they want a
don't like
little bit of
guys that
manly.
take care better than they do.
That probably is it.
I find it uncouth of a woman. I've said this before, where if I'm dating a woman and she's in the past and they're like, "I'm really into your type," like, "Oh, I love this big hair," I'm like, "That's disgusting. You're into this this is like what you look for in a man.
That's
I'm
what we
like,
both
ugh.
say, Mike. We both say
I've
that.
seen me sitting down without a shirt on. Like I've caught my reflection of me sitting down shirtless. It is disgusting.
That's what they're into, though.
But that's gross, and that makes me not attracted to them because they're attracted to me.
Okay, that's fair. Well, that's its own,
That's
can of worms.
Yeah.
Well, I've never admitted that, but I feel like we're in a safe place here.
Can I ask you a question? Women that, we don't have to talk about this, but women, when they're very open about cosmetic surgery, like I have a big nose, I want bigger boobs, they can do it. But a guy cannot really get cosmetic surgery without some sort of, I'm sure guys want nose jobs too, and they gotta say, oh yeah, I gotta, I have a deviated septum. Or they have to, they can't just be like, I don't like my nose and I want to fix it.
Yeah, no, you have to be like, oh, I can't sleep at night. I'm dying 4 times a night. I had to get my nostrils flared out and a real thin nose. Like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like we were talking about this the other day a little bit.
Let's
not
be
talking
honest,
about the
though.
podcast.
Let's be real, okay? If you're a guy and you look like a bag of feet, it doesn't matter.
Bag of
It doesn't. If you look at a bag of feet, it doesn't matter what you look like.
If your
bank
bag full of
account,
bunions?
if your bank account ends in a lot of zeros, it doesn't matter.
But what about if you don't have
the other
money?
way. If the women is the other way,
Like what? And so
What,
what
if
do
you don't have money?
What are you saying, that all ugly men are rich? Like there's
no.
or
What
not
I'm-
ugly,
What
but
I'm saying is, money will trounce everything. If you're a guy, money will trounce everything.
But
so it doesn't matter if you have a good nose or not.
But that's not my point. My
That's not what
point.
we're talking about.
That's not what I'm talking about. It's like you're a guy. You're insecure about the way you look, a feature you have, a big nose. You can't go and say, fellas, I want a nose job. I want to scrape this down. I don't
Without being
feel.
ridiculed
I don't
about
feel good looking or handsome. You have to be like, boys, I can't breathe at night because
Let's do it. Let's put it on the table then. If we're
Wanna
gonna
get your nose job?
if we're gonna get them vulnerable, let's do it right now. What would you change right now physically on your body? For real. If you could get plastic surgery, what would it be? I know you've thought about it before. I know you have.
I'd probably want a bigger dick, man. I'm serious. I'm serious.
No, you gotta be.
Okay,
Dude, I'm
that's
legitimate.
everybody's.
Not really.
Yeah, it's every guy, bro. Every guy wants a bigger piece.
If my dick wasn't, I have a 10-inch cock, and if it wasn't, and I want 11. No, and no matter how big a man's penis is, I feel like they would want a little bit more.
Okay, so
what I'm saying is
so
like,
dick doesn't count. Fine.
Of course not.
I would.
Every guy wants. A bigger dick.
I guess. I guess I'd want to be taller. Honestly, like
Okay.
that would because I have had girls in the past not date me because of my height. Truly, I had a girl. Like,
You don't have to say truly. That makes sense.
yeah, like
I've met women.
They're like, I like you. I think you're
You're
funny,
shallow
and I
pieces of
think
shit
you're this,
sometimes.
and it's like, but you're not tall. It's like, okay, well, is that a surgery? Can I get like a
Yeah, you
knee
can.
implant?
No,
yeah,
you-
we'll
they
get you
cut-
some
you
calf.
get-
We'll get some calf raises.
No. They cut you in your shins.
Okay.
And they spread it out, and then they
No, I don't
do
want that.
they do like inserts, and then the bone like regrows over it, and so you get. I think you can get like up to 3 or 4 inches. Can you Google this real quick? Can you find this? Or Luca, can you find that real quick? Just heightening surgery. You don't have to worry about it. But that's a real surgery you could get, and it's apparently brutal.
Yeah, you
Brutal
probably can't
recovery.
walk for like.
No. Would you ever?
Probably 3 months, probably.
If you were single, would you ever considering putting lifts in your shoes?
No, because they're gonna find out regardless.
Yeah, but you got a good personality, so your personality raises you an inch.
Honestly, an inch maybe, but like that's still 5'7", which is still too short.
Hey, you're 5'8" in America,
That's true too.
What would you get fixed?
and I can't.
Plastic surgery.
And I can't fix my personality.
No, no. First of all, there is no surgery for that.
That's immediately number one, right
That's
there.
called a brain transplant.
overall-
and they
my-
haven't perfected that.
Yeah, my be able to talk.
Could you imagine getting finally have a brain transplant, and this was your donor? You immediately start hating everything.
Yeah, lobotomy
Mets.
is not cosmetic.
I can't get a lobotomy.
Cosmetic surgery on you, that would be like obvious to people to be like,
I'm telling you, if the personality's up, I'm going from a 6 to an 8 immediately. If my personality was better.
I agree.
sure.
You said you agree way too quickly, and I didn't appreciate it.
Sorry.
You're stalling right now, and I understand why.
Probably my nose to be a little smaller, and probably my
me see,
ears a
look straight
little.
ahead.
My ears a little smaller. If you look from the side, look at the
You
side,
got a
people.
little bit of a bulber.
My guy, I got a big.
You got a big nose,
You got a big
Nah,
beak, yeah.
it's what they call a Scopo nose.
but
Nose.
That's not bad. And
women are into big noses, I believe.
It's weird how much women,
No.
to your point, that women like or are okay with ugly men, or like obviously we're like kind of gross as guys.
Yeah.
Yet they will judge another woman for like one eyelash being off. Like, look at this stupid whore.
Yeah.
Like, and women wear
they're
makeup
bad
for
people.
I know, but women will wear makeup for women, and they'll talk
Yeah.
shit about women for the silliest little thing. Yet they'll date people that look like us. Every time I look at my girlfriend, I'm like,
They're insecure.
what are you doing?
That
They're
is
insecure.
That is true though. Like Olivia will always notice something I have never noticed in my life.
I know why women do that because they want to make themselves feel better by looking at that person and going, "Oh,
yeah.
you're not good enough. Look at your eyebrows. Look at this. Look at that." They want to feel better about that. They want about themselves because that person looks good.
I've seen Becca walk out of the room with makeup on. She doesn't really wear makeup, but I go, "The fuck are you doing? Like, what happened here?" She's like, "Oh, I got a meeting." I go,
I know. I don't even like makeup either. Like
yeah,
I don't even like.
just don't, I never, and that's not like me trying to be a tough guy.
Makeup
on a girl.
what?
on me.
You like makeup on you? You ever had makeup on?
Of course, I wear bronzer.
It ain't great. You wear bronzer?
Not all the time, but you know, to
To,
spice it up a little bit.
to darken it up a bit.
To darken my soul.
Why don't you go tanning?
No, I don't take a little bronze. You know.
So
I used to wear bronzer in college. It was so the whole house used to make fun of me, and then by the end of senior year, I got everyone to wear bronzer.
So why? First of all, bronzer.
Bronzer.
Bronzer. He got bronze at Wendy's. So your ears, nose. Why did you wear bronzer? Because you just wanted to be tan.
Darker.
No, it makes you look good. You know, gives you a little
So you're okay. You would
contours
I feel
you
like
up.
you
Gives you a
could be
little
convinced to
shine.
wear makeup.
Contours
gives
you
you a
up.
little shine.
I bet you could do a little makeup on. Let's get
Put
a
it
little
on me.
makeup and see.
Like
what
a-
I used
like
to
a
date.
gothic kid.
When I used to date my ex that you both knew,
Yeah.
she was a makeup artist, and I used to be like, just experiment on me. Let's see what you got.
Really?
Yeah.
That's open of
She
you.
showed up with handcuffs. I meant with makeup.
That's open of you.
Yeah,
That is cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
Would
yeah.
you have walked out of the house with like makeup on?
Who says I did it?
But what about you? What's wrong with your ears?
And they're a little too big. Also, I like to be like 6'1", 6'2". I think that holds me back in
The
life.
height thing.
I could
that's
see
a tough-
your ears. You look like a Doberman. Yeah, for sure.
I like to be the ears just a little bit smaller and about 6'2". I think if I was 6'2", I'd be successible.
Well, trust me, I'm 6'4", and it ain't happening. I'm still sitting here with you.
I thought you were
short-
6'5".
You short pricks. I said 6'5".
Oh, I thought you said 6'4".
Maybe I said 6'4". I'm definitely 6'5". Don't you doubt that. How tall are you now?
I'm 5'10", 11.
Oh, so you went like a big. See,
like
I wish I was
6'2".
6'9". Like
Why?
I'm 6.
Oh.
I wish I was taller. At
Yeah,
this height, I wish I was taller.
I don't understand why women like height. Like
because it's like I think it's
protection.
Yeah, I think it's like that's like nature.
But even tall, skinny guys, they
Why
like.
do you date a guy that's what? I'm sorry. Why do you date? Why do you date a guy?
Why do I date a
Not
guy?
there's anything
Why do
wrong
you
with
date a
that.
girl who's 4'11"? Because the girl, she likes height. She likes a guy who's bigger than her. You are
A perfect
kind of
match.
like.
She's
You-
5 feet or 5'1". She's not 4'11".
I'm sorry.
I'm not dating a munchkin.
I was off by an inch. Excuse me. Apologize. Off by an inch. Okay.
Well, medically speaking, that's a munchkin.
I don't think that's appropriate either.
No, you know what I mean. Little, small.
Yeah,
lollipop
I
kid.
I think Munchkin is more disrespectful than the disrespectful
No,
word.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, dwarf. It's
No,
a
dwarf
no,
is,
no, 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 no.
The dwarf is 4'8", I believe. 4'8" or
I think-
under.
We're canceled before this.
I don't know.
Gets off the ground. This is
It's but there. If you're under 5 feet,
Whatever it
it's
is, it's
considered
gross.
something. It's considered something. She's not that of that variety.
But you date a dwarf. And the dwarf likes someone who's a little taller than her. So it's like that's what if she wouldn't date another dwarf. She would date. Yeah, she would date someone.
She would date me. She would date someone who's above dwarfism.
You are
There's not many people shorter than her. Let's just say that.
Yeah, she's short.
Like my girlfriend Annie.
She's
my girl-
taller than you,
she's
isn't she?
5'8", 5'7", 5'7".
Holy
so
shit,
like,
she's tall.
It's kind of like
But she can't wear heels.
no, I'll let it. She doesn't wear. I mean,
He wears heels.
No, but if she wears heels, she'd be taller than you.
Would you be upset if you?
No, I
Would
used
you
to-
date a girl taller than you?
Yeah, I don't give a shit
Yeah.
about that at
Yeah,
all.
once they had a WNBA.
I
player.
like, yeah.
I would.
And,
I've never dated a girl
my
taller
ex
than me. Obviously,
used to wear heels constantly, and she would not tower with me, but she'd be like, she was 5'9", so she'd be like 6 foot in heels.
I dated a girl once that was 6'4",
what?
and it was not cute. Seeing us two walking in like we're fucking
6'4"?
Well, like we're protecting the quarterback. It was a tough look. She was a big- she was a
6'4"?
big girl,
Would you
yeah.
go to her? Because blindside?
Very cute though. Very, you would. She was like volleyball
Like skinny?
in shape.
Okay.
Fairly in shape, yeah.
6'4"?
Yeah.
Dude, you guys should have been together just for like biology.
That was why we started dating. We were like,
What, to have a kid with
we could have a kid and be rich forever.
To have
Yeah.
a kid with a
Whatever
bad
this
heart.
freak turns into.
Yeah, we wouldn't have to pair.
Bad heart.
Bad heart with a kid.
Yeah, buddy.
Come
that
out,
kid's
the
veins.
pacer's not doing well right here. Hit the thing.
But this is the point. Physical attractiveness has so much to do. So ears, nose, I'm chin. I didn't get to me. I would
We
get
were
I
getting
would
there.
get a new chin.
This is why you have the
You
beard.
have a beard covering up your chin.
What
this is
what
why
I'm saying is the way that I would do
There's
it.
a beard.
If
That's
we get
exactly
to
why I have the beard.
250 Patreons, we'll see that
I have
trashy chin.
I grow a beard because I don't like my chin, and so this is my plastic surgery. This is my alteration.
What kind of a chin are we looking at here? What
It's
do
like
you
a little bulb.
Is it a
And
chinny
it's just a
chin?
weak. It's just a weak jawline and a bulby chin.
do? You look like the pickle pelican guy?
I don't know what that means. The stork.
The
Pickle
stork?
Pelican.
You don't have
Is
a
it a
good.
stork or a pelican?
Was that a Canadian basketball team? The Pickled Pelicans.
You know what I'm talking about. The
Just
stork.
a drunk Irish fucking lacrosse.
What do
team.
you got?
The
Like
Pickled Pelicans.
you got a pelican neck.
I will, but I got a little bit of a double chin, and I got a bulbous. So what I would do is I would disappear for a while, shave, get the surgery, grow the beard back out, and then I'd be like, oh, I guess I'll shave my beard, and then I would shave it, and it'd be like, oh my god, this guy's so attractive. Look at this guy's face.
Look at that
So
Jay
no one
Leno
ever
jaw.
know.
Look at that
No
Jay
one
Leno
ever
chin.
know.
You are so insecure about
Brutally.
the double the it's a double chin.
Yeah, I hate it.
Wow.
How
Because
long?
I already have enough like fat things going against
How long
me.
you had the beard for?
I had it.
You're 47 now.
49.
I've had a lot of fat things going against.
I got too much fat stuff. Like if I also had a double chin, it would be like Jesus Christ, get this guy a fucking banana.
It's
you know?
it's too much.
Well,
it's too much.
It's too much.
just saying,
But
yeah.
that's like
No one's looked at your body and thought, well, I wonder what Mike would look like underneath the beard. Like you're gonna have a chiseled chin. Like everyone knows it's there, Mike.
But nobody, they don't know anything because it's hiding. I don't have a goiter. I don't have like a fucking Luke Skywalker. Who wrote the movies? What's his name?
You guys have seen.
George Lucas has that. He has a little beard, but it's just like it's got like
Again,
a fucking
George
basketball
Lucas
But
is
how
player.
worth
bad-
$1 billion.
How
Yeah.
bad is it?
It's not great.
We'll shave you right now, Mike. Let's see.
You gonna shave me right now? We're gonna bite it off.
I'll say, let's see right now. Let's see.
It's
the
bad.
point is that I would love a chin implant, and I would probably get liposuction.
How do you do
underneath.
that?
They put a little plastic guy underneath here, and it like stretches your skin out, and then you look like Clark Kent. You look like a good guy. I've seen it. I've looked into it. I'll say that I've never admitted that before. I've actually looked into chin surgery.
How much is it?
Too much.
Like how much?
250 Patreons will get me some chin surgery.
How much is it though? Honestly,
Probably like 10 grand.
10 grand.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, 10 grand.
You heard that,
That's not a lot of
Patreon.
money.
How many chins do you have? 10?
10 grand. Yeah.
What is that,
I got a new one.
a
You
grand a
click
chin?
one on every time.
Do I want a sharp chin tonight or a long chin? What do I do here?
Wow. Okay.
That's what I would change about me is that I would get a new chin.
Okay, that's good to know. That you need a chin.
I need a chin.
I got a chin guy.
You got a chin
I
guy?
got a chin guy.
Down in Brazil? In Argentina?
Yeah, hop with Mary. She'll get a fat ass. You'll get a new chin.
So the next
Is that one of your stops at the garbage business?
do you
Chinese
have a-
restaurant?
He pays us in chins, actually. Yeah.
Oh God! Between that and the Dwarf stuff, we're done. This next one on this list is rigid gender roles, in the sense that like
the hell's that mean?
Well,
Men make the money. You guys don't know about this. So men will make the money. Women provide the household. In your lives,
so this
it's
is
a
saying
little
men
opposite.
don't do household chores,
I do.
and men should be the financial providers for the family.
Well, half of that is right for me, and you guys could take a guess which one. I do the chores.
No, men don't do chores, and they bring in the money.
All of it is. Yeah, flip it.
So
Flip it
you
for
are
me.
the opposite of the stereotype.
Yes, I
Absolutely.
am.
I am also as well.
I am a woman.
I cook. I clean. I do the grocery shopping.
All
I'd
right,
be
men.
afraid, honestly, if my girlfriend did the grocery
Listen
shopping.
up, the alpha's gonna
she'd-
speak. Okay?
I currently am.
The alpha's gonna speak, and we tell you something. When men want to do what they do, they just do it, okay? None of this wash the dishes.
You don't wash dishes?
Nah, my mom does.
We're finding out a lot about you. I mean, we've always known this, but they're starting to slowly learn that you're completely inept and incapable.
Yeah, I need her.
Scopo, your fridge is one of the saddest things I've ever seen in my life.
It's called being a man.
No, you have one jar of peanut butter.
Stop saying being a man. You can't. You keep. And I'm saying stop because I want you to stop because I want you to say, why don't you have shit in your fridge? Not because you're a man. Men eat. I have a fridge
Guys,
and it's
I
filled
don't know
with great
if, I don't
food.
know if you know we pay rent here, and the podcast hasn't really made money yet, so that's why.
So you're not eating?
Seaver's eating.
You're really not eating, or what is the reason you have nothing in your fridge?
Guys, the funds are a little low right now. I put a $50 on the Cardinals tonight. I hope that comes through.
So you have bad priorities.
One time I saw Scopo One time Scopo was like, "Hey, you want to go shop?" He's like, "I gotta go shopping." It was like 12:30 at night, and I'm like
AM.
And so I had been dating Olivia at the time, so I'm like, that shopping is in the day.
That's a daytime
You
activity.
get
When things are
groceries
open.
to
I was just- I
prepare
know this
for
story.
the week. And he's like, he pulls in like a disheveled, like he's going through a divorce. Like, he walks
divorce
up.
guy shop at 12:30
He
at night.
gets a carton of eggs, puts it under one armpit, Skippy peanut butter under the other armpit, and he's like, all right, there it is. This is shopping? This is disgusting.
So I think that you just don't know how to shop. You don't know how to grocery shop. That's why.
No, he doesn't know to do stuff.
Do you know how to cook?
No.
You don't know. You definitely don't know
No,
how to cook. I lived
I
with you
can
for
cook
years.
some things.
What can you cook?
Eggs.
No, you can't do that.
That's-
I know you can't do
I
that.
can make eggs.
You know how many times I've seen an egg pan after you've used it and 50% of the egg is left scrambled in the pan, burnt to the edges?
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have everything, Mike. I don't eat all the eggs. You know, sometimes the protein's there, and that's it. You take it.
When
That's really how you felt, you'd eat them raw. So don't start with this protein nonsense with your boy. I think that I would love to teach you how to cook a proper egg.
I'd love for you to not teach me how to.
Why? So you can still continue to pretend that you're better than me.
You cook eggs. You cook eggs, but sometimes the shells. A lot of the times the
I
shells are
offered
still
you
in
eggs
there.
this morning.
Yeah, but there are shells in there, so I don't want to eat shells.
Shells
I'm not
are
a
good for
fucking
you.
raccoon.
They're good for
no,
you.
I don't want a shell.
You know, today I literally cracked the egg, whole egg, went into the thing. Not the yolk though. The yolk was still.
Let me ask you this: how do you crack an egg? Do you do it like two-handed, crack like this?
Now you get one and you spin it, kind of thing. You
Yeah.
spin it, but you twist it one.
You use
finger.
one hand to crack
That's
an
the
egg.
appropriate way to do it.
Scopo needs 2 hands to crack an egg.
Also,
I've seen him
you
crack
need to
an
start
egg.
buying organic eggs or pasture-raised eggs because they have a tougher shell, and they don't disintegrate in your hands. The white eggs that are the gross like egg
You're
ones.
saying I'm a tough person.
I'm willing to talk about things like cooking, which is normally a feminine role. I'm willing to talk about it. Are you?
Yeah, we're doing it right now.
Okay. Yeah. So you make less money. You do the chores. I make
Way
less
less.
money. I do a lot of chores.
I make no
don't
money.
Make any money,
And you do no chores.
I do no chores.
He makes no money. Paper plates.
I
You make a good cup of coffee though. You make a good dark cup of coffee.
Let me
and I
tell you
like
something.
that.
Our Mondays meetings, I like guys coming over. I like you see the dog, you hang out, I give you a cup of coffee. It's not bad. It's
not
fun.
bad. It's not bad.
You made fun of my coffee last week, but this week you chugged the coffee.
I had a good time. I
yeah.
waited this week for coffee. I didn't have coffee till I was like, I'm going to Scopo's. I got to get my coffee. Yeah. Next one on the list is this one's a tough one. This is a hot topic. Heterosexuality and homophobia is a stereotype. That a gay guy is not a real man. Don't isolate these clips. A gay guy is not a real man, and straight guys should not have gay friends. I think that's a little bit of a passe. I don't think that
we're
that's.
all-
I think our generation is beyond that.
Yeah.
I don't like. We were actually just watching Seinfeld, an episode today where Jerry was mistaken and George were mistaken for being a gay couple, and they were very upset that people thought that they were gay.
but
And we
I-
were both like, this is a little weird, right?
I will say in society and stuff, it is unusual for a group of guys to have like be in a friend group and have a gay friend in the mix, a gay man in the mix. You don't see it in TV, you don't see it in movies. It's always women with a gay friend,
Yeah.
but a gay guy with a group of men or straight guys.
yeah.
You don't see it. I don't
that
have
happens-
gay friends in my group, like friends of guys. Like I have gay friends, but they don't hang out with my like group of friends I grew up with. Not that they're homophobic. It's just
That's
weird,
I think
right?
what
I
happens
don't
to
think it's weird. I don't think you like have to have a gay friend. I think
No,
what has
but-
to happen is like I had my cousin-in-law. He had a bunch of guy friends that were all bros, Long Island bros, and then one of them later in life just came out of the closet, and
Oh,
they
cool.
all like accepted him. They're like, "Yeah, sure, bro, you're still my
That's
my boy."
nice.
And he would come around. He brought his boyfriend around, stuff like that, and they all accepted it. And that's how like I think a guy. No one's gonna go out and kind of like get a gay friend like women do. You know, women have like their gay friend.
Yeah,
No one's. It's got to be like a guy who comes out of the closet later in life. That's how it would be like that.
Yeah, it is.
Especially
in all honesty, if let's say I had a day job, which I don't, and I need one.
Let's say you had a night job.
But I'm like, this is gonna sound bad, but if I had a gay, but I'm not thinking about it, but I met a guy and he was gay. I wouldn't be like, hey, come and hang out with my buddies. We're gonna watch football. not in because I'm a bad guy
What
or
if he-
homophobic. I would just not think his interest would lie there.
What
Would-
if he likes football? What if he's like a football fan and he's like, and you're like,
you know,
hey, come over.
I don't even know if I would. I feel like, oh, he's a gay guy. I don't even know if I could talk sports with him. I don't know. It's stupid.
It seems like you got a little some things going on.
Yeah, buddy, that's on you.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what Canadians are. People, they're bigoted people.
They're real nice.
I just
you
don't
think they're great. They're not.
I just don't do it intentionally, but I don't know if you know.
You've never been in the situation where that has come up, so you don't know how you would.
I have obviously we do comedy, so you have like gay friends and stuff. But sometimes, I mean, like I've never been like, hey, come, watch football or let's talk about gambling and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's on me for sure. I will say that
Yeah,
that is.
I don't think that you're like a lesser person for not having immediate gay friends, but I don't think that I don't think I just like a woman would want to go find a gay friend. I don't think you have to like just for the sake of argument. But, you should try to next time you say come hang out.
Yeah, I don't.
I think it's smart. I don't. I think this is a little bit of an older.
That's
stereotype.
way older.
I think,
yeah.
it's not.
I think if
half
your
friends are gay.
Yeah, I think if you're shunning people because
Yeah,
they're
but
gay, you're just a
they're
bad
not
person.
gay. They're not gay men. They're
Lesbians.
They're
That's the
lesbians.
correct vernacular.
And you like them because you guys all look alike.
Yeah. Wear their clothes.
Well, the opposite of that, there's two more left, is hypersexuality as a stereotype, which this one actually, I think, as you get older as a guy, works against you. And the definition here is a real man has to have as many sexual partners as possible, and a real guy will never say no to sex.
I've said no to sex a lot.
I've said no to sex too.
It's just
at least twice in my life.
It's tough. I'm tired, and I don't want to.
You're saying the older you get, the easier it is to say no.
I think
what do
we're
we-
talking
I
about
wanna be like-
outside of a relationship.
If it's like
though.
11:30 at night, 12:30 at night, we're laying in bed, we're hanging out. We could have it all day. Let's just wait for tomorrow.
I'm thinking more like, I think this is more focused on like if you're single and a woman approaches you and she's like clearly wants to have sex with you, you're supposed to say yes. Like when would you ever turn that down?
It depends. Honestly, as a guy, it depends. If you do have a lot of sexual part, if you couldn't get laid easily, you probably will turn it down more. Say if you're a single guy and a girl approaches you at the bar and you're talking, you're like, I could definitely hook up with this chick, but you're like, I'm hooking up with a couple girls. I can call a girl right now I can hook up with. You'd be like, yeah, no. But if you don't have any sexual partners, you're probably like, yeah, I want to have sex with this girl.
So you say you would have a difficult time saying no.
If I wasn't,
If you were single and you were out there mingling.
yeah. If I was single and I had no one to go hook up with, and I haven't hooked up with anyone in a while, I'd be like, yeah, let's hook up.
Yeah.
If I was, and I could be like, I'm like, no, I'm not doing this right now.
Well, I think let's talk about this. And this is going to, I think, be its whole own episode that we're going to have a female guest on. But talking about like the number of partners, because the definition here is saying you're supposed to have sex with as many people as possible as a guy. That's going to make you more of a man. The more numbers you put on, notches on the belt, like that's the whole thing. Have you ever had that conversation with a significant other? Have they ever asked you how many people you've had sex with?
Nope.
Have you ever told a significant other?
Nope.
Why not?
I don't care, and the person I have been with don't care. We're now with each other, and who cares? Doesn't matter.
If you had to tell them, do you think your number is too high, too low, or is it just right?
It's probably, in my opinion, too low, but I would probably want,
But that
comparing.
goes back to the height issue.
Well, no. Comparing it to other
That was pretty
people,
good. Come on.
it was.
Honestly,
It was.
I was thinking for a few minutes, what can I burn him with? And you got me. You got it. It was a good one.
No, I'm probably comparing it to like people who are in like everyone has that one friend who, not Scopo, who's like in the hundreds or like the 200s, and it's like, well, obviously it's not that high. So if I'm comparing it to that person, but then if I compare it to one of my friends who's probably had sex with one person, Will
Crushing.
Chamberlain compared to that fucking guy,
Dork.
What about you? Has that ever come up in conversation?
When I was younger, I would say, yeah. I was like in my early 20s. I'd be like, yeah, well, I don't want to date a girl who's been around the block a little bit. My dad always told me, he goes, you don't want to date a girl when you go to a bar, everyone knows her name. He always like said that. That means she's the town floozy.
Yeah, we know what it means.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wait. What?
Just breaking it down for the people. So, but like as I got older, I was like, I don't really care if they're good to me.
Have you had the conversation? Not necessarily. I'm not trying
Ever
to
in your
blow
life?
you up, but have you had that conversation?
yeah. When I was like
Really?
my college girlfriend, yeah, definitely.
I guess you're insecure when you're younger and
Yeah,
it
you're
bothers
insecure.
you.
You don't
feel
know
like
what's
the same
going
way,
on.
yeah.
Now though, I'm like, I don't want to.
You don't care how many they've had, and you don't. Do you want them to
I don't
care?
want them to ask me. No.
But okay, that's interesting though. Like, why? Do you think your number's too high? So it's reversed almost.
It's like, yeah, I mean, there was some years I was hooking up with chicks. I don't want them to know. Like, I lost count after a while.
Some of the
Not
girls
in a
I've
bad way, but like, no, it's like,
It's not in a good way.
some of the girls I've seen Scopo hook up with though should be a negative.
yeah, I should get taken down a few points. Yeah,
If he was at
Calling her
6,
up, he's like, my numbers are too high. Come over. Let's get these numbers back down.
I gotta knock it down to 10.
if he was at 70 and I saw him walk in with one, it's now 68 because
Hopefully not 69. You know what I mean? That's interesting though, yeah, because I feel like it's all right. Let's get the laugh out.
he knows what I'm talking about.
I'm just thinking,
He knows who you're talking about.
I'm just thinking of one in particular, and I'm like, oh no.
I think we're thinking of that same one.
Oh, I wish I wasn't awake for that one. Why did I have to piss then? Why? I punched my bladder for that one.
There's been a couple where I've been making a coffee and I look up and I go, "What are you doing here?"
That led to the first quit drinking.
But that's interesting how that like stereotype almost switches. Like as a kid, as a younger guy, you're like Luca, I'm interested like what you have to think because you're younger, man. You're in your early 20s. Do you find the pressure to be like to put numbers on, or is that changed generationally? And you can yell it, like we can catch it.
Yeah, I have the pressure, but I'm in a committed relationship, so like I bite my tongue. But like, yeah, definitely there's
So you bite
in
your tongue
college,
because okay.
in a frat environment, yeah.
Because you were in a frat, yeah. So like, did you pump your numbers?
I was never like I never had big numbers, but I wish I did. I always.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah.
I pumped numbers when I was a kid, for sure.
I'll tell you this.
I'm not a pumper.
Jokes.
20 like when early 20s pumped numbers for sure.
When I almost got married, I was engaged to a woman. We almost got married. She was my second sexual partner, and I almost married that person.
That would have been a big mistake.
Brutal.
Yeah.
That
We
would
wouldn't have
not
known
been
you, which might have been good for us, but
Well, she had always said, she was like, I get nervous that you haven't had sex with enough people. I was like, what are you talking about?
what did she?
No, she.
Apparently.
I think it was like we were both the second, maybe.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I don't think we had
This is the one that hated your face, right?
hated my face.
Didn't she hate you?
Well, but I think we hated each other equally. I think there's an equality of despite or despise.
Did she see your bare chin, and that's the reason why?
She did. She was
Ooh.
pre-beard Mike. Yeah.
Oh, and she liked you.
Yes, she did. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
I don't
That's
have the
nice.
confidence.
She
to have
blind?
this chin. She might be. She might. Yeah. She had problems for sure. That's why she was almost going to marry me.
Imagine Albanese
I was
in a
100 pounds
relationship.
heavier, no beard. Imagine
Wow.
that.
Wow,
I look like
no.
I stung by 1,000 bumblebees.
100 pounds
Now
heavier.
it's only 75.
Yeah, 100 pounds. Wow, funny. Funny. Yeah, so I find that now, like as older in a relationship, I'm like, fuck, I wish I didn't have these numbers.
Wow. So
Almost.
if you would have married this girl, you would have been.
I would have been dead. I would have cheated on her 1,000 times.
Oh, okay,
And
okay.
my kids would hate me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
I was saying like if you let's say we met all of each other, we met each other, and you had been faithful to this one woman that you've been
Yeah.
with, you would have been two puss Albanese.
I'd have been.
Oh my God, you would have
puss-
had COVID more times than you had sex with a woman.
Would have been an equal number. Yeah.
Kobe's coming back, though. Kobe's coming back. Round 3.
I would have been home for more sex too. Third time's a charm. No, I would have absolutely been unfaithful in that relationship if we had it continued because it just the curiosity would have killed that cat.
Like if I would have stayed with the first person I've had sex with and we started a marriage and shit, that would have been horrific.
Mine
course,
did.
yeah.
Mine did. I remember the girl I was dating in high school girl, she wanted to get married. And she was like, I want to marry you. And I was like, I don't want to marry you.
I did.
I told her that. I was like, I felt bad after I said it. I was like, but like, 17.
How long
Yeah.
ago? How long did until she got married? Do you know?
She was married within like 6 years. She was one of those girls like she wants to get married. She wanted to get married. She wanted to have kids.
So she was like 23, 24 when she got married?
Yeah. She pumped out a couple kids.
Two people I
Totally.
dated.
Does
in high
messages me
school.
Instagram though every once in a while. So
I had two people I dated in high school.
Watch out for that husband.
One of them got married right out of high school, like the summer after high school, like 6 months after we stopped dating, and the other one was married like the day after college.
Yeah, it's weird. Some girls, it's reaches on they want to get married quickly, and they don't really care who it's with.
Yeah.
They just know if the person is compatible enough that they're like, yeah, let's do it. Let's have kids. Let's do this. And it's like, don't you want to live life a little bit? Don't you want to experience stuff? Some do, some don't, and some, want to be with Scopo.
Man, you were right on like this really good train of thought that was like, I was like, wow, this is intriguing. Scopo's crushing it. And then you just ruined it. I was going to compliment you and then you just destroyed it.
Yeah, well,
All right, let's get
can't all be winners.
Let's get to this last one here, which is aggression and control. Men should always use violence when necessary.
That's what I'm talking about.
And the man should always have the final say in a relationship. I think that based on all the other things we've talked about here, clearly that's not true for us. I don't think that that's a stereotype that we deal with.
When I have the final say in a relationship, things are going to go horribly wrong.
He's actually not in a relationship.
Anytime you have a final say in a relationship, it's because you're saying goodbye.
Yeah.
If
And that's it, I'm out.
If I say something and then Olivia doesn't say something back, I'm like, you have to go. Please say something. This can't be it.
You guys don't enjoy arguing?
I love arguing.
Not really. My
enjoy
parents
it.
argued so much growing up that a lot. It wasn't even arguing; it was fighting. That I don't like it now.
Okay.
But you like have disagreements that you like hash out, right?
No, he's not allowed to.
No, we do have disagreements that at some things I'm like, oh, that's ridiculous, and I'm sure she thinks the same thing. But we hash it out pretty quickly. And plus, what time is it? 7? Games are on. I can't be arguing
Real quick, how many times have you just taken the L in an argument because the game was going to start soon?
all the time.
Really?
I go and I sit on my little ball and I watch 4 games and I go, you're right.
Olivia, if you're watching this, pick fights at 6:45. That's what you do.
Because you'll win every one of them.
You'll win every single one of them every time.
and games
you
are
want
start-
new shades? 6:50. There you go.
Games are starting at 7:08 now, so I'm getting screwed. It used to be
what-
7:05.
Also, in the
Hold on,
playoffs,
hold on.
Olivia, Super Bowl, game starts at 6:19. So 6 o'clock, there you go.
Is that what you think of? See, this is, so it's fun to mess with you and bust your balls about not being in a relationship or admitting you're not in a relationship, but even though you are. Is that what you think an argument between a man and a woman is that they're arguing about over the shades?
I don't know, I just threw it out there, Mike.
I know, but like that was the best you could come up with is you want new shades? Like,
I didn't want to say his overall presence.
That's fair.
I've never thought about any sort of like home thing, like shades, carpets, curtains. I'm like, it's you.
Well, you don't know what those are.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know what they are, but I just don't. I'm like, yep, go.
If me and Annie are fighting, I know what the argument's about.
You.
Yeah.
Well, let's do this. Go ahead.
I actually
and then we're gonna get to the
we
Reddit
actually got
questions, then
into
we're
an
gonna get outta
argument
here.
about a carpet, actually. But then in the middle of it, I'm like, what the fuck am I even talking about?
You thought you were talking about the rug. She was like talking about the carpet she was put on your old head. She's talking about the old rug, the old piece that she wants you to get.
Dude, I have no idea. I was arguing about a carpet, and midway through it, I was like, what am I don't care. I literally did not care halfway through the thing, and then I don't know what I did. I was like, whatever, it's a nice carpet. And she was like, what? I'm like, no, I like it now. And she was like, what the hell's going on?
Did you reverse psychology? Try to get
No, it wasn't like a plan. I just didn't care in the middle. I'm like, I don't care.
tip off.
And then no, it was in the day.
All right, let's wrap this up. We're getting close to the end here. We talked to we asked Reddit, the Ask Men Reddit, what male stereotypes do you hate and which
Those
ones do you love?
gems.
Typically, these are all guys that are responding to this, and it's a really fun way to kind of
Cool guys.
Yeah, real sick men, and sick in a bad way. And here's some of the highlights. One says he hates the stereotype, the nerds versus jocks, that not all jocks are meatheads with low intelligence, and not all nerds are socially inept. Scopo had a lot to say about this one
Yeah, I did.
because he thinks he's a jock. Let's just put that out there.
I was a jock in my former day, but also like I hate the fact that if you're a bodybuilder or you're like good shape, you're just a meathead. You don't know anything. You're just a dumb guy who goes to the gym and lifts weights. It's not really true at all. It's some of the smartest guys I knew in college were all like guys who worked out constantly. Even the guys in the baseball team who were in great shape were the smartest guys on the team. They knew what they were doing. They were smart guys. They enjoyed working out. I think a lot of people do that. Put jocks down. People put meatheads down that like they're in good shape because they feel bad about themselves. And they're like, oh, they're just dumb. They're dumb people. That's all they know how to do. It's
Also easy because of the stereotype.
Yeah, it's easy, but it's like to me when I was in really good shape last summer, you know how hard it was. The discipline I have to like not eat anything and just eat properly and eat the right exact things and work out. It's very hard to do.
I will also say this though, that if I like had a doctor's appointment or like if I had to have surgery and the doctor comes in and he's yoked, I'd be like, give me another guy.
Yeah,
I don't know if I want this guy.
But depends
because he's putting too much. He's putting too much effort in that area.
No,
and
see, I think
not
that's
like working his brain.
I think that's wrong because he's obviously he works out, he takes care of himself, so he's taking care of himself. He's probably taking care of his business. He doesn't have time to just f around and not, just go and get drunk or whatever. If he guy's in great shape, he does not drink at all. So
what happens?
He's probably more clear-headed than a guy.
That's true.
Who's not in great shape.
If you look at it like that, but if there was a doctor that came in jacked up, barbed wire tattoo, frosted tips.
I'd say, what's his name?
Yeah, you would.
You'd be like, is that my other brother?
Yeah. Could you be my family?
I came here because I had strep throat, but hey, give me a lobotomy. That's what you would do.
That's what I would do. This next guy, this one's tough because he goes about the ones he loves, ones he hates, the stereotypes. The one stereotype that he loves is that men can't do house chores. And then he proceeds to say, half these bitches don't know I'm more of a housewife than them, which that sentence just immediately discludes you from any argument when you start calling them bitches.
I want to apologize for my dad writing in.
This guy's an idiot. This guy, how old is this guy or what?
It doesn't say. No.
Men can't do house chores.
Point.
Well, he's saying that that's a stereotype. He loves that because then he maybe
what?
doesn't have to do it.
At what point have you ever heard that men can't do house chores?
Well, it's not the man's job; it's the woman's job. That's the stereotype.
He made it seem
I'll
like
say this.
we don't have the tools.
Growing up, my dad loves to clean. Like my dad cleaned the house. My mom
dad's
cleaned the house.
obsessive cleaner.
My mom cleaned the house too. I'm not saying my mom didn't, but like my dad, like his joy was like cleaning.
My dad was too. My
My
dad
dad-
was. My sister has like mental problems now because of how often she has to clean. She's so anxious about a dirty house. I think it's comes from my dad.
But this guy makes it seem like men are physically incapable of cleaning, and it's only women. Like he would come home and his mom would be drying a dish with her tit. Like, oh, your father can't do this. Like that's what this
Well, he also
moron
said
makes it
these
seem.
bitches after that. So
He's
this
an
guy's what he's
idiot.
talking about. He also doesn't like the big feet equals a big dick stereotype.
I like that first guy, but also the nerd thing. The nerds are socially cool. They're like better now than like if you see a nerd, you're like, oh, that's a cool nerd.
No, he stinks. Nerds stink.
But if I saw a if you
Except
put
Luca.
if you put a nerd guy beside a meathead, I would go, oh, that nerd probably is knows more about like sports and is cooler than that guy is smart. For sure.
So you're saying that nerds are probably cooler than meatheads are smart. So
Yes.
You're okay. That's
Yes, that's what I would
think.
think. I don't know why. I think maybe that's how society has shifted.
I think that you probably have less in common with the meathead than a nerd. So you might find a nerd to be cooler because you probably have more in common with them.
I don't know. I don't necessarily know if that's the case, but I think just nerds they got a little bit more shine in these days.
I think they're pumping up nerds because
Yeah.
it's like enough with them.
No.
Well, you don't see it. The richest.
Nerds put people down too. Nerds put people down constantly because
They
they're not into what they're into. And if you're not into what I'm into, you're an idiot. You don't know anything.
But look at
it's
the-
a lot online. You see a lot of stuff online. If you don't agree with them, they just put you right down. They even like for a meathead, they'll be like, "Oh, you're just a dumb meathead. That's all you are." Oh, I can call you a nerd, but you can call me a dumb meathead. That's one thing that will happen constantly.
I think if you look at the list of the
True.
world's richest men, none of them have abs. So I think there's a lot.
Have you seen Bezos recently?
Yeah, but
Guy's
that's
jacked.
only since he quit his job.
The
Now that he's
guy's-
got nothing but time
Those are-
and a yacht.
Those are
guy's
for
yoked up.
Well, because he
sure.
wants to get dry humped by Leonardo DiCaprio. Like he's got to bring something to the
Those are
table.
probably implants, ab implants.
For sure.
There's no way that guy has abs.
No.
That guy
Can you
has
Luca,
abs.
Can you pull up a picture
Jack,
of
like-
Bezos in the thing? He's one where he's on the yacht right now. I'm looking at Bezos. I'm like, someone's hitting that 245 with one red max.
You're weird.
problems. And then the last guy, we got to wrap this up. The last guy
Topless Bezos.
of the best one says, "I hate the stigma around guys and crying." He's saying he's a 19-year-old kid. His name is we won't say his name. And he hasn't cried for 5 years. He's a 19-year-old kid, and he likes that all men are portrayed as big, horny creatures. He is 6'4", as horny as any 19-year-old. He said this, not me. As horny as any 19-year-old could be. And he enjoys it when women are given the upper hand in terms of being smart, like in society. So this kid's actually like trying to figure shit out. Like I like this guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's saying he's fairly, He's also saying like I am done. I'm fairly academically well.
Can I
and
give this-
consider myself intelligent. So calm it down. a little bit,
19
all right?
years
You're
old.
19.
19.
Give it a break.
19 years old. I'll give this kid one advice. Whatever vital. One advice. Whatever vital decision you're gonna do, rub one out. Then do the decision. I'll give to the 19-year-old.
That's the best advice you can give a 19-year-old is if you're going to make a decision before you do, jerk off and then make the decision.
Yep.
I'm glad I invested money in a help podcast with Scopo.
Yeah.
That really made me fucking comfortable right there.
I'll tell you right
really.
now, you rub one out, you'll think twice.
Yeah.
About doing
I
any
wish I would have
decision.
jerked off before we signed the lease for the studio. I'll tell you that.
Guys, I did.
We know you did, buddy. We know
And
you
you still
did.
chose. All right.
Yeah,
Smart.
I
it was
thought
it was
this-
to
yeah.
it was to a topless Bezos picture. That's what it was.
Are we going to say what's wrong with each other before we go?
Yeah. What's the number one stereotype? Then we'll leave that you would put on each of us. That you
I
think
would-
that we need to work on.
You got to stop, but you don't do it on the podcast though. That's the
What?
problem. People aren't gonna know that the real Mike. You got to stop acting like there's a point for everything. Mm-hmm. Like you always have to go outside and be like, yeah, but what about the world? Like, what about the environment? Like stuff like that. Like you always have to have
I've
a.
never said the environment.
Well,
around here.
that was an example.
a bad one.
Well, I'm just saying, like
Let
you.
me tell you why that was a bad example.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it like that?
And it's like you. I don't want to say you try to be Rogan-esque, but you.
That's
you
despicable.
I guess it's a.
Why, a guy who's a great podcaster?
No, it's because I'm not.
I thought you were gonna say
I
abs.
wish I was.
I think sometimes you try to maybe be a little too smart. Not that you're not. You are smart, but you try to be a little.
He's with us.
Nah, he's a little smarter than
He makes
us.
a great point. No, I'm not that smart because I'm with you. I made a very stupid move.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you try to.
You don't always have to know everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you try to make it seem like you know everything and you're the smartest guy at times, and sometimes you are, and sometimes you're not.
Well, when I'll say this, and I hear what you're saying,
Most
but when
of the times
it
you're
comes to the
not.
three of us,
You know.
Depends on the subject, Mike.
You know when you watch like a TV show nowadays and they like shoehorn a topic in because it was like big on Twitter,
yeah,
and you're like, there was no point to that. That's sometimes you do that.
I'm shoehorning in intelligence.
Yes.
Yeah, you like
Yeah.
to everyone to know you know things.
Yeah, that's what you do. I think like that's a good example
That's a
I
good
just
thing,
did.
yeah.
You shoehorn shit.
Yeah.
Okay. I would like moving forward outside on this podcast as a follow up to this concept. I would like for you to call me out when I'm doing it. Dead serious. I want to know
right.
because if that's something you're both agreeing to, then clearly that's a thing that I should work
All
on.
right.
And let me know next time I do it.
Perfect. That shouldn't be hard.
Shump people.
There he goes. God forbid
Making fun of people for saying stupid shit is not me trying to be
God
funny.
forbid
That's not me
I
being funny, not trying to
mispronounce
be
a word
smart.
in front of you, Einstein.
That's all we do for this
Jesus
guy.
Christ. Well, that guy's an
but
idiot.
Went to Wendy's. What about him?
Oh, Jesus
I mean,
Christ. We got a
where do you
laundry
start?
list of problems.
Yeah, really.
Guys, part 2 of this podcast is going to be with me.
Yeah.
Scopo's very, very scared to fail, and that's why he projects himself as this tough guy but really deep down inside he's really, really scared that he's going to get rejected or say no. Yeah. But he also picked comedy, the industry where 99% of everything you do is rejection. So is he a moron? Yes, he's a moron, but he also is scared of rejection. But once you get over that, you're going to be unstoppable, buddy. But I think it's coming.
I hope so too.
See how quiet he got? He was like, oh shit, I have to face this.
I think
I'm a
he's
little emotional.
No, I think Scopo's becoming a little less. He's letting his guard down a little bit more and more. Honestly,
I stopped caring a lot more.
No, you still care a lot.
I still care, but I catch myself going, "Don't do that. Don't say that. Don't." I'll be like, "Oh, this fucking guy." And
but
I'm
you
like,
don't also have to overdo it and be like, "Oh, I should care," and go crazy. Like there should be a balance. I think. I'm not saying that you do that. I'm just saying like you don't have to overdo it. But I am saying you do it a bit too. So I'm not saying that you don't.
I would like to point out that you told him what's wrong with him, and then you complimented him afterwards. You didn't do that for me. So that I'm gonna be a tough, smart guy.
He needs me to tell him that a little bit more because I always rip on
I would
Scopo
agree.
more.
I think that you have low. Your self.
I also called you smart.
That's the one thing I always said I was like, if I ever have a kid, I've said that I've had a kid, my kid's gonna have more confidence than me. That's one thing I will install in him. I've read
Instill.
Yeah, listen to the dad's episode, our previously released episode. We go into that a lot more, and we actually call our dads.
My
and talk
kid
to them
will
about it.
have more confidence than me, and not just by like, oh, you're great, you're great, you're great. I'm gonna make him do things by himself, but he'll learn to have confidence. Because I've learned, but
Sounds like he's not going to play with his kid.
I'm not going to be around the kid. Leave him on the side of the road and go, hey, figure out yourself, kid. No, but like there's things that my brother can do that I can't do, and you know, I think that
Spell.
I think I'm going to say spell it out, like tell us more, but no, just spell.
build a table. But there are things I'm going to make my child, if I do have one, have more confidence, have to be more self-sufficient, because that was the one thing that I think that held me back in life.
You have told me that too. You have told me that.
Yeah.
And I would like to say for Pav, just to go back to the list too,
Not
and then
being
let's
Canadian.
wrap this up. The acting tough is you act stupid.
Yes.
And like you like go the opposite of like you're like, oh no, not me. That I think, and I've said this to you off the podcast and just independently, that I think, where are you going?
Sorry. I was gonna cross my leg.
Getting scared. I think that you're very, very intelligent, and I think that you play the dumb guy on purpose, and I still don't know why.
We don't need the very, very
I think he is. Well, compared to how he acts.
I think the very good
True.
is one. I think, no, he's not two very intelligent. He's one very intelligent, first off.
But I think you play dumb. I think you do it on purpose, and I'm not 100% sure why. And I hope I live long enough to figure it out. That's more about my physical nature.
What I'll say about you is you are one of the most stubborn human beings I've ever met in my life.
This is a compliment.
And no, I'm not complimenting him.
All right.
No, please don't.
He gave that to me. I mean, you're not giving back. I think he's one of the most stubborn human beings ever. And if he doesn't want to do something, there's no, all right, yeah, I'll do it. It's my way or the highway.
That's true,
and I think that's because you are an only child.
And lonely.
And lonely.
A lonely child.
Yeah.
I can't argue with either of these.
Oh, I'm not done yet.
Let's wrap
I've
this
been
up.
waiting 6 years for this. I'm going, baby. And I think you're a lousy better. No. There are times where I'm like, hey, let's go. Let's hang out, do something, come over, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, no, not doing it. Not even like, no, hey, listen, I just want to chill tonight. I'm not having a good mood. It's just no. Not even a reasoning why to do it. You just know, and that's it. And it's just like,
Yeah,
give me
he doesn't like. When he's doing his own thing, he does his own thing.
Yeah.
That's
No,
only
I
child
agree.
syndrome. I
Yeah,
think. It's
yeah.
like, no, fuck you.
I agree with both of that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think we can all do better with these stereotypes. I don't need to be a know-it-all. I think you could show your intelligence a little bit more. And I think you're just fine. Don't you worry about it. No, I think that you could allow like you could be more confident with who you are. I think you should allow that to blossom.
I
With
think
women and stuff too.
No, I'm talking about in general.
No, I just call them all whores.
I think
Nah,
we're gonna.
I'm trying to be a joke. Come on, I'm trying to be a joke.
We're gonna edit that out, and then I think being
edit that
from
out.
New York, it's a little bit harder though because they have that persona of like, oh, I'm from New York, I'm tough, but
Your bagels suck.
But
that makes
yeah.
me better.
Yeah,
All right.
but if
Why are you saying my jokes?
But if you like have that like, oh, I'm scared of, you can't have that scared to fail mentality at New York
Right,
because
that's
everyone
true, that's
comes here to succeed. But God forbid
They
you.
sensing fear here, and not fear of like, oh, I'm afraid, but like you could sense fear here in like decision making, stuff like that. If you're not on top of your shit here, decision making wise, and you're not aggressive, you will get left out here.
That's true.
Like
I feel that.
I learned that way with the driving here in the city. If you're not an aggressive driver here, like I talk to people like I can't drive in the city. I'm like, you just got to be aggressive. You got to be. There's decisions of like you have to go. If you're like nope, that's it. You're done.
Yeah.
You have to go here. You have to always. It's always green in my book.
Every light is green.
Yeah.
Well, I think this was actually a really good, enlightening episode. I feel like we learned a lot about each other, and I feel like that we found some places that we can improve as guys and be better. What do you think?
I think so too.
I think we did it.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear from you if you have any. If you want to talk about some of the stereotypes, if there's something that you like actively have to fight, or that you hate about stereotypes for men, or as a girl, as a lady, if you want to talk about stereotypes that you wish you didn't have, or you want to talk about male stereotypes, we'd love to hear from you. DearBuddiesPodcast@gmail.com.
What do we send them? What do we send them again? Pair of underwear or something? What do we send?
Pair of
them?
underwear.
Or hats? I don't know.
No, subscribe to us on YouTube, Dear Buddies Podcast, and we're going to be randomly going through all of our new subscribers and just randomly sending out gifts.
I'll give a pair of socks to someone because
good.
I have
That's
so
what
Get a
much.
people want.
signed picture of my dog.
I have way too many socks.
Follow us on YouTube, Dear Buddies Podcast. Hit us up on Instagram and email us if you have any questions about anything. It doesn't have to be this topic, but if you have any issues or anything you want to talk about that you're scared to ask other people, ask your buddies. You can trust us, and we'll read it and we'll talk about it. And if you don't want us to say your name, we won't. It makes it even better for you to say what you want to say. But thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. And Patreon. Don't forget the Patreon. That's where we do our special bonus episodes. Anything else? You good?
That's it. Yeah.
All right. See you, buddies.
See ya.
Bye.